So this is the tutorial on how to solve the 4x4 Rubik's Cube. It's also known as the Rubik's Revenge. So it's almost the same as a 3x3, and I'm guessing you already know how to solve a 3x3, but if you don't, maybe you should check out a video on how to solve it and just learn the basic way and the basic structure and how to solve it. So the 4x4, sometimes you go through something called parodies, but not every single time you solve 4x4 you'll encounter one. But as I go through each step, you'll start to realize that towards the end it is solving like a 3x3, so having the knowledge would be a good idea. So now another difference is that between 3x3 and 4x4 is that there are centerpieces in this, so this is good because you can kind of know the basic like where each color is and what the opposites are. But in the 4x4 we have to make our own centers, and we have to be careful to place them in the right colors in the right places. Okay. So if we're gonna start making a centerpiece, I usually start with the white piece. So a centerpiece is just these four pieces, and it's just in the center. So one of the center pieces would be, so here's one because it's in one of these four. So I have one here, so I'm going to start my white on this face. Now I'm going to look for another one of these. So I found one here. Now if I rotate this up, you might realize that this is a diagonal, but what I'm trying to do is to get it vertical or horizontal. So I'm going to bring it back down, I'm going to rotate it, I'm going to bring it back up. So now it's horizontal. So I'm going to find another piece. Okay, so here's another piece. So I'm going to rotate my top so that when I bring this up, it's part of the center. Now I'm going to look for my last piece. Okay, so my last piece is here. Now to get it up here is not that hard. So what we got to do is to get this corner pointing to the top left. So now it's pointing to the left, and we want this piece to also point to the left. That's done. So now all we have to do is rotate this up so it becomes horizontal, move it to the side so it's safe, and then rotate it back down to complete the white. Now if you look at the 3x3, the opposite of white is yellow, so I'm going to go ahead and do the yellow. So I already have a yellow pair here, so I'm going to move it here, but then my white is disturbed. So once I move it here, I can rotate it out of the way and then move my white back. So here's another yellow piece, but this time I can't use the same technique because if I bring this up, but the white gets ruined, so I have to move it. If I try moving it out of the way and bringing it back down, it just brings you nowhere. So when you start solving the other centers, you have to get two pairs, so this is a pair, and get two pairs and then match them up. So here's one of them, and let's try to find the other. Okay, here, so it's here and here. Now we want this to become vertical or horizontal, but right now since we're moving it this way, vertical would be easiest. So I'm going to rotate this face up and move to the side, and now they are vertical. Okay. So now we need to complete this, but again, I move this up, white gets ruined. So all I have to do is rotate this face so that it's in the same line as the other pair, and then rotate it up, kicking this one away, but you can rotate it 180 degrees and then bring it back down. And as you can see, yellow is complete and white is safe too. So if you see white again, I'm going to go with orange to start. Here I'm going to go with orange. So if orange, let's see, so I have two oranges here, so I'll rotate it like this, and I already have another two like this. If you don't have another two like this, you can use the same technique, find the two pairs, and then rotate them together. And you don't have to worry about making them in line and then doing that whole thing, because there hasn't been any other faces made here. So orange is the first one, so it's fine. Now next to orange, we have green. So I'm gonna make my green here. So I already have 2 greens. I'll bring it here, but again, orange is broken, so I'll rotate it 180 degrees to make it safe. Then I'll rotate it back. Orange is okay. So I have another green here and another green here. We want them to be in line, so I'm gonna rotate this face like this and bring it here. But again, I've ruined the orange, so I'm gonna bring this up, make it safe, and rotate it back. So now orange is okay, and I've got my 2 pairs done. So I have to use the same trick. 180 degrees, this. Make sure it's in the same line. Bring it up, rotate it 180 degrees, and bring it back down. So white, orange, and green's done. Now the last 2 is pretty easy. Once we complete one of the centerpieces, the other one automatically finishes itself. So since orange is here, red will be here. So I have 2 reds here, and I want this to be here. So I'm gonna rotate this here, 180 degrees, make it safe, and bring it back. So right now I have 2 reds here. So after I've rotated this, I want one of these pieces to come here. So this might be a bit tricky when you first see it, but just watch. Okay. So I have 2 diagonals here. All I have to do is rotate it like this. But it's all broken now, so I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees and bring it back. And what I've done here is that I've made a vertical pair, and I have to use the same trick. Make it in line, 90 degrees up, rotate it 180 degrees out of the way because they're 2 pieces, and bring it back down. And as you can see, all of the sides have been completed. When you look at a 3x3, you can see that the edges are already made for you, but when you are solving a 4x4, there are 2 edges, so you have to pair them up, and each edge has its matching pair. So I usually start with white. And just one more thing, don't worry about the orientation throughout this whole process, because all we're focusing on is getting the edges matched up. So if I start with red and white, as I see here, I'm going to try to find another red and white to pair it up with. So I'm just going to keep my finger on this. Okay, so I found it here. Now I'm going to rotate it up to the same face and make sure they're diagonal to each other. So now that they're diagonal to each other, all I want to do is pair them up. So I've paired them up like this. Now we've broken the centers, so we want to save these though. So I'm going to rotate this up, try to find another piece that's broken like this, and rotate it back down. And now I can fix the centers while saving the edge piece. I'm going to do that with one more. So I have orange here and orange here. Now, as you can see, these are opposite each other in a straight line. We want them diagonal. So all you gotta do is rotate this up, move this here, and rotate this back. And now, as you can see, these are diagonal. I'm gonna show you that one more time, so I'm just gonna undo it. So you can see again, they're across each other. All I'm gonna do is take the right side, hit it up, this face counterclockwise, and the top clockwise. So the algorithm is basically just right clockwise, front counterclockwise, and the top clockwise. And now if I just take the cube like this, they're diagonal. We pair them up, get it up, replace the broken piece, bring it back down, and replace the centers, and saved. Now we're going to do that with all of the other greens. So, let's see. So green, all the other whites. So white, green, did it up, out of the way, and back down. What I just did was the exact same thing. So up, out of the way, down. And now they're diagonal. Tear them up, bring them up, replace with some junk, bring it back down, and fix the centers. The next pair I could do is white and blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and find the other white and blue. I just found it. So I'm gonna bring it to the same face, and now they're diagonal. I'm gonna cut it across to make them pair up, bring them up, and find a broken piece, bring it back down, and fix the centers. Now, I think that all of my whites are finished, so I'm going to go ahead and do the yellows next. So I have yellow and orange, and they're right across each other. So again, right clockwise, front counterclockwise, and the top clockwise. And now they're diagonal. So I'm going to cut it across, make it in line, rotate it up, replace it with junk, bring it back down, and fix the centers, like so. So now I'm going to do yellow and green, and lucky for me they're right in the same center, but they're across, so right clockwise, front counterclockwise, and the top clockwise, and they're diagonal. So I'm going to cut it across, rotate it up, and replace it with junk here. And I'm going to bring it back down and fix the centers, like so. Now I have a yellow and red here. So I'm going to find another yellow and red. It's right here. Get it on the same face. Again, it's across. So clockwise, counterclockwise, and up clockwise. And they're diagonal. So I'm going to cut it across, make it go up, replace it with junk, bring it back down, and fix the centers. So I think this is my last yellow and blue, and here's all the yellow and blue. So if they're like this, I just have to, so I place it like this, so one's facing me, the other one's on my right, and the right side clockwise, the top clockwise, and the right side counterclockwise. Now they're diagonal. I'll show you that one more time. So they're like this. So clockwise, and counterclockwise, and they're diagonal. So I cut it across, pair them up, bring it up, and place it with some junk, bring it back down, and replace the centers. And so let's see, I finished all my yellows, so I'm gonna just pick a random one. So here I have red and green, and I'm gonna find my other red and green. Here it is. Get it on the same face. So here it is. I'll cut it across, bring it up, replace it with some junk, bring it back down, and fix the centers. Now what do I have left? So since they're straight across, we have to do this algorithm. So you take the bottom two and take it clockwise, right side clockwise, front counterclockwise, top clockwise, right side counterclockwise, front clockwise, and the bottom two counterclockwise. So now my edges have been paired up. If your edges happen to be, the last two edges happen to be diagonal to each other, there's another algorithm you have to do, and this would be right side clockwise, top clockwise, right side counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, the front counterclockwise, the top clockwise, and the front clockwise. This hasn't solved them, but this has got them to be right across each other. I need to do the algorithm that I showed you before. So the bottom two clockwise, right side clockwise, front counterclockwise, top clockwise, right side counterclockwise, front clockwise, and bottom two counterclockwise. And now all of your edges have been solved. They're all paired up. So now the next thing to do would be trying to get all of the white edges on the white face. So I've already got one here, and this has red on this side, so I'm gonna orient it with the red. And so I have another one which is green here, but if I just rotate this up, it will break the red. So I'm gonna bring this green down, rotate it out of the way, and bring it back up. So green's at the bottom. And luckily for me, this is the green center. All I have to do is 180 degrees, and green's at the top. Oh, and my orange has also come up here. I don't know how, it just happens. And all I have left is the blue. I rotate this down, move it out of the way, and bring it back up. So now my blue is at the bottom. And I just have to line it up with the center and 180 degrees up. So now my white cross is complete. Now at this point, this may remind you of a 3x3 when you're solving it. You have to cross, unless you do another way. That's the way I do it. So now that I have the cross, I just want to flip this cube over, and I want to try to get my sides here between the colors. So the first step to do this would be to find two of them. So I have green and red here. Now since green is facing me, I want to place it on the green face. And since red is on the left, I want to rotate this down. So this is where I want it to be, but I've broken the white. So all I want to do is move it out of the way, and then replace this white and replace this white. So now that my green and red's back. Next thing I want to do is look for the corner. So here's my green and red corner. And there are 5 different places that the corner could be. So right now the corner's facing me. And don't worry, I'll put all of the different ways it could show you on the screen. So if it's facing me, the algorithm I'll have to do would be top counterclockwise, right side clockwise, top counterclockwise, right side counterclockwise, top 2 times clockwise, right side clockwise, top counterclockwise, and right side counterclockwise. And now you can see that my corner has been placed. I'm going to do this with another one, so orange and green. I'll place it with the orange face, green is on its left, so I'll place it where I want it to be, but I've disrupted the white, so I'll move it out of the way to save it, so that when I move this back up, it's still okay. And I can rotate this up, and orange and green's been placed. And I'm going to find the corner, so it looks like my orange and green corner is all the way here, it's already somewhere else, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate this up, move it out of the way, and rotate it back down. And so my orange and green is here, and make sure you place it right on top of where your side is. So it's here, and this is the top one, so the algorithm would be right side clockwise, top clockwise, right side counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, again right side clockwise, top clockwise, right side counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, and again right side clockwise, top clockwise, but you end it with right side counterclockwise. And now it's also been placed. So I'm gonna try to do it with another one. So So here I have a red and a blue, and it's already in the right place. It's just been flipped. So I'm going to bring it up, move it out of the way, and bring it back down. So I've just saved it, and now I can do it again. Since red is on my right, I'll bring this down where I want it to be. I'll move it out of the way, bring this back up, and bring this back up. Red and blue's okay. Now I'm going to try to find that corner. So the corner is here, and this time it's facing my right. So the algorithm for that would be, so you take the bottom 4 and you do it clockwise, the right side counterclockwise, the top clockwise, right side clockwise, top 2 times clockwise, right side counterclockwise, top clockwise, and right side clockwise. So as you can see, my corner's been placed, and seems like this one, like all the sides are done except the corner for this is not placed yet. So I see the corner, it's here. So I'm gonna put it right above, and this one's facing the right, so it's the same thing. Bottom 4 clockwise, right counterclockwise, top clockwise, right clockwise, top 2 clockwise, right counterclockwise, top clockwise, and right clockwise. And now all my corners have been placed, completing the white, and the first 3 layers are also completed. I may start to realize this is becoming a lot like a 3x3, so I'm trying to solve the yellow now, and I want it to be a bar, but these 2 are missing, and instead they're here. So there is an algorithm you could do. So the algorithm is, so you make sure that these are facing you, and you do this one, R back, U2, L, F2, L back, F2, R2, U2, R, U2, R back, U2, F2, R2, F2. And my bar has been placed. Now I'll solve this like I normally do. So I'll go F, R, U, R counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, and front counterclockwise. So I've completed my yellow, and I see a red bar here, so I'm just gonna rotate it here. And one more thing, if you haven't completed it, I'll put 3 different algorithms you can try and on the screen, and you will keep going on with these. And this is kind of like solving the yellow face, so do it how you normally would. And remember, if you get the fish, make sure the mouth of the fish is pointing to the bottom left, and do the RU, R back U, RU2, R back algorithm, and as many times, and then your yellow should be solved. So now that I have one facing here, I can point this to my back, and I see that the colors for me are going counterclockwise. So if they're going counterclockwise, the algorithm is R, U back, R, U, R, U, R, U back, R back, U back, R2. And my cube is solved. If you happen to get in a situation where these 2 are swapped and these 2 are swapped, don't worry about it. I would do what I would do in the 3x3. So I'd rotate this 180 degrees, find the blue and match it up, bring right side down, left side down, 180 degrees, left side up, right side up, and match the blue like I have, and go ahead and fix the side. So now I've got one side color, and my last 3 are all going clockwise. So the algorithm would be R2, U, R, U, R back, U back, R back, U back, R back, U, R back, and your cube is solved. If you come to a situation that when you solve your yellow, you don't really have many matches, except maybe one corner, so you place an almost completed on the back, and you do this algorithm. Right side, counterclockwise, front clockwise, right counterclockwise, back clockwise 2 times, right clockwise, front counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, back clockwise 2 times, and right 2 times clockwise. And you can see that these have all matched up, 4 of them. And the rotation, so here's another parity. These two need to be swapped, these two, and these two need to be swapped. So there's no clockwise rotation at all. If this happens, all you have to do is place them back to front. So I've got one here and one here, and do this algorithm. Top two 2 times clockwise, right 2 times clockwise, top 2 times clockwise, this bar 2 times, top 2 times, right 2 times, and top 2 times. So now these two have been solved, and same thing with this. So front and back, top 2, right 2, top 2 times, middle right 2 times, top 2 times, 2 rights 2 times, and top 2 times. And your cube has been solved.